This is Justin AMZN for Tuesday, April 16th, 2019. Looking at yesterday and today, Monday and Tuesday, and seeing some strong similarities. The first two candles at the open yesterday, it was a bearish candle, inside bullish candle, and the location was right at one of the lines we got in here. And from there, it broke down and basically, this line held as resistance. And then today we had, again, a bearish candle, open, bullish inside candle. And then from here, we rallied. And we are not at a particular line. We're above, our line here by, about $10, but $9-10. But I guess what I'm thinking is that just the 1850 price, that nice round number, was a really good place to be buying. And it had been a good point of resistance and support. Earlier on in the week, I think, or last week, I think 1853 was the high that we were at last week. And so we were looking like we were going to run into that. And hold below it with the pre-market prices. But this candle said, nope, we're going to go higher. It meant stopping out some bears that were shorting it, looking for a pullback into this level, which would have been great, just like we had yesterday at the close. A pullback into our 1841.30 price. We had another pullback at the end of today from this high. I didn't look back to see how many months it's been since we're at this price, but both yesterday and today we had that sell-off into the close for the last almost an hour. And so we'll see if that continues again tomorrow, if we continue to move up and have some selling into the last hour, maybe some opportunities there. We had an evening star reversal yesterday, evening star reversal today. We were, doing a great job holding the 21, really, holding the 5 pretty well too. Today, we pulled back a little bit through the 5, but we held the 21 up until that roller really started to get going. But the 21 was holding even, into the closing candles last half hour of the day. So that looks a little different where the 21 is. And all it means is we're moving up more quickly yesterday than we were today. So the 21 was able to catch up, and then we were pushed down through it. And today, the 21, yesterday, the 21 caught up, but we pulled right back into it going into the close. And so, I don't want to say it's going to happen again. I don't want to say, we'll get another gap up, and then this time we'll get a pullback into our price here. The price we got here is 1863.84. Again, I don't remember when that price was, how long that price has been here either. But it really didn't seem to matter today. Honestly, looking at the low from yesterday, right around 1819, and then the high today around 1869, we clearly moved about 50 points, and the lines I've got are off. I had 1815, which would have been a great place to buy, and then I had 1863.84, which would have been a great place to take profits. I mean, it just didn't pull down that far to buy it there, and it didn't roll over up here, but was a good target, And so, there was just this carryover from yesterday to see if we were going to continue to move up. Looking at the daily, a bullish retest gap, a gap that's actually pretty much, let's see, what was the open price? 1851.35. I think we opened above the opens, but not quite above the high. Wait, what was the open? 1851.35. The open here, or the high here on this candle is 1851.50. So we're slightly below that one. We're above the open on this one. We're above the open on this one. So there's some bearishness, from last week that we're clearly beyond now. So the question is, how long are those people going to be trapped before they get out, or have they gotten out and now they're just staying on the sidelines, or there are going to be some opportunities to trap some more bears as we continue higher. Um, the price action we had today pulled back into the 5 and bounced nicely. We've had that happen here. We've had that happen here. We had it happen back here. There's been plenty of other times where we're actually bouncing off the 21. I'm sorry, bouncing off the 5 and get just a very slight retest or something. But we haven't touched the 21 in a while here. So we'll see if we continue to move up and be cautiously bullish for that to happen. I would not be surprised if, I'll say it again, with the holiday week, the next 2 days, we have some sort of selling into the holiday. Does not by any means have to happen, but that's just something I'd be aware of that we could. And if we do sell off, we'll be trapping people who bought today, and we'll see if this hammer ends up being in the right place or the wrong place. So let's dive back into the 5, and oops, if I can zoom right. There we go. So as we opened up, look at 1815, we have that pullback, indecision candle inside. Now the range of this was $1, and then it broke out. And so it would have been hard to do, risk of under $1 or under $100, to get into this. But there were some other opportunities and some pullbacks. Maybe you saw this one. It's like, oh man, I'd love to get in at 15, have that trade set up, doesn't quite get there. Oh, it got there, and you're off to the races. 15 by 14. Now that's still not giving much room for some leeway. So if we go out another 25, look at the 1875. Well, now, obviously it's moving slower. It's out of the money. But we have, indecision candle here. That was much smaller. We had some more pullbacks that actually almost approached that indecision candle. But either way, if you look at the values, I mean, we're talking like 450 by 350, 5 by 4. 5 by 4 possible, could have had an extra wick down. So trying to buy these lows, and then it broke out and just went sideways as a, sideways to up. And, had you gotten in 450, made up to 750 pretty easily. Just let it ride, let it go through the whole day. And so that's 3R. That was a nice little game, So, very clear resistance here on the option that we broke through. Didn't really get a full retest, but again, some opportunities up here to get in and, take some profits up at the high here. That would have worked for this little stretch. In down here at the low, out about 40 minutes later or so, 35 minutes later, up at this high. And, it worked. The puts, they're just losing value all day until we get to the end of the day where we have this rollover in the stock, which means the option's going to start moving up. It would have been hard to get into this one if you set up maybe 4 by 3. There was, let's see, a low of 4.05. You would have had to have it on this candle set up that way to do it, or move it up slightly, but don't move it up much because then you're chasing. And in this case, you going like 4 by 3 up to 6 was a nice move. Small, but a decent move just to have some profit of the day. And unfortunately, to do that, you're actually calling the top up here. The only reason I really do that is you have a really, 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 really small indecision candle. You had some other ones here. Now you've got this move up that looks like it could just rally faster, go higher and faster. But instead we have a bearish engulfing, kind of opposite of the open. And then we just start to roll over. So any one of these candles, you could have been getting in, into puts, and you're just moving up a little bit. So you could have done 5 by 4 at this point. Now to get out at 6, or to get out, if it doesn't get to 2R, there's some opportunities to do that right up to the close where it did actually pull back some more. So hopefully you're getting in down here and out up here. And what else to get out up here? I guess the low over here is around 6. So get out at 6 is a good target. We've pushed back through this. We have a hammer cannon on here. There were some reasons to get out there. but if you're trading this for, I guess, kind of the long term, you got to know your buy points, got to know your sell points, and control your stop if you're up. And today gave a good opportunity to see what stops we might be chasing as we go down. We had some lower wicks, some lows or pullback candles down here. Didn't really get below this line. So then, if people were holding their stop here, it started to move up. It's like, well, I'll wait in case it pulls back a little more. Then by the time it's up here and starting to roll over, it's like, oh, you're still in, something bullish and it's here and you're about to get stopped out. So switch gears and get some puts instead. I don't know. That's something you got to work on your plan and be ready to put it into action, back test it, and figure out how that's really working. So, today just noting some similarities to yesterday and some opportunities. So, on the daily, we'll see if we continue on up. On the 5, we've been up significantly. I mean, this is not a surprise here, what we did yesterday and today, in light of all this consolidation. It just looked like a rollover and then didn't roll over. It just continued to rally. So we'll see if we do actually keep going higher. It helps having some of these candles turn out to be bearish on the daily, that we're trapping folks. And then let's zoom out. Let's see when we were here last. So this price was the last crossed here. Let's see, what's that? 10, 10, 18. It's been over 6 months since we were at this price. So don't get in the way if it's going to continue higher. We'll just dive into the 5-minute and figure out the best way to play it. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is Justin AMZN.